backwards bullshit.
Yeah, right.
The Last Starfighter.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. Get ready. Prepare for blast-off.
Parental discretion is advised.
Centauri's the name. We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance. TheHardCast. Light years ahead of the competition.
It's time for another heroically high-scoring episode of TheHardCast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Spanish.
Only one person would use raspberry jam. Lone Star.
And Victor.
Done, the deed shall be.
Tonight's review/discussion is about the 1984 sci-fi cult classic, The Last Starfighter, directed by Nick Castle and written by Jonathan Betuel, starring Lance Guest, Catherine Mary Stewart, Don OHerlihy, and the great Robert Preston. Alex Rogan, an ambitious teenager living in the Starlight Starbright trailer park with his mom and girlfriend, is thrust into a real-life war of intergalactic proportions. After achieving the top score for the arcade game Starfighter, Alex must use all his unique abilities and quick reflexes to go up against Zur and the mighty Kodan Armada, for he is the last Starfighter. So Victor, did the Last Starfighter prove to you that only hardcore gamers have the skills to save the universe? Or was it game over from the moment you saw the outdated computer graphics?
No, I kind of wanted to give it a game over, but this movie has some pretty good things to it. Yeah, definitely, like, video gamers are the only ones that can save the universe. Obviously, we're the ones, like, putting ourselves day after day in these ridiculous situations where we gotta save the world, right? But, just to clear one thing up, his mom is not his girlfriend. The way you said it kind of made it sound like you said his mom and girlfriend.
Hey, incest is best.
In Alabama.
Yeah, right. The movie starts out basically in this trailer park called Starlight Starbright, and we're basically introduced to like the whole neighborhood. Everybody's screaming at each other, and like walking around and everything. And everyone's big old family that happen to like live in trailers, and they all happen to be.
Yeah, everyone's up in everyone else's business, but that's okay because everyone gets along and helps out.
Yeah, everybody's friendly, and of course you got these kids. What happens first? The teens, they like roll into town and they're like picking up Alex and his girlfriend, but Alex just has to stay behind because he has something to do.
Well, he has to help the people who live in the trailer park. He has to like fix their antennas and.
Oh yeah, the one lady wanted to watch her soap. She can't live without her soap, so he couldn't go with her.
Exactly. She was
telenovelas.
Opposite friends. That sucks. So basically, he stays behind, and after a while, when he's bored, he starts playing this one arcade that's in the entire trailer park.
Yeah, it's front of the trailer park store.
So the game's called Starfighter, and it's... How would you describe the game?
I would say it reminds me a little bit of the old school Star Wars arcade game from back in the day with the old school polygons.
Yeah, it's like first person, you get to like shoot other ships as they fly by.
Right. You don't see the ship. You're first person view kind of in the cockpit.
There's a little intro though where you get to the ship. You see the ship launching up in the air, so you get to see the design of the ship.
Yeah, and you got Robert Preston's voice narrating it, saying, "Okay, Starfighter, defend against Zur and the Kodan Armada," and all that.
Greetings, Starfighter.
Another similar game reminds me a lot of Descent as well, but he's closer. He's closer with the Star Wars. I had the Star Wars game back in the day on PC, and it's closer to like that.
You interplay whore.
Oh.
So basically, back to the story. His girlfriend gets back, and it's already nighttime. It's late, and like she goes up to Alex, and he's playing.
What I liked about it was it reinforces their relationship because it shows that even though he's kind of stuck doing a lot of stuff that's boring, like chores and things like that, she offered to stay behind with him, but he said go ahead and go and have fun. And he got upset because she was taking forever to come back. And so he's thinking maybe she's having a little bit too much fun without him. And then she comes back and she, of course, keeps talking about how she's been trying to get back to him and, you know, she loves him and all that. And, of course, she smiles and he's okay with it. Typical teenage romance stuff, but they're likable teenagers, I think.
Yeah.
There's a sweetness to their relationship.
Right. But, of course, during the whole time, he's, like, just concentrating on Starfighter. He will not let go of the game. Soon enough, he starts, like, scoring really high, and then the guy that owns the shop, he sees him, like, he's about to break the score, and then, so he, like, gets all excited.
You gonna bust the record!
Yeah.
He starts calling everybody in the neighborhood. Everybody, Alex is about to break the record. And everybody jumps out of the trailer park and runs over to him. Oh, it's funny because Alex's little brother, what's his name?
Oh, Lewis.
Yeah. Lewis is like, okay, everybody step back, give him room. I thought that was pretty funny.
And you have to say, Lewis is a funny little character, a fun little brother, I guess. He's really hardcore into sci-fi too. Always running around with his space helmet, shooting things.
Pew pew.
Yeah, he definitely loves shooting things.
At this point, it's funny because everyone's making a big deal out of the fact that he's getting a high score on a game, which is so different from nowadays. That's just a normal thing. But back in the day, I remember it was a bit of a big deal when we're getting close to beating a game or beating like a top score. I mean, they've even made movies out of that, like what was it, A Handful of Quarters or something like that, where the guys have broke the records on like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, and they became celebrities because of it.
It's
like
a fistful of quarters.
Yeah, there you go, Fistful of Quarters.
Though, isn't it another one called King of Kong as well?
Yeah, there's King of Kong. It's just funny, back in the 80s, people took the arcade stuff kind of seriously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they went as far in this movie, but just the fact that, they made a big deal out of a game. Of course, it was also the only game in that trailer park, so
Right.
I assumed when everyone said, hey, he's about to beat Starfighter, everyone knew exactly what he meant because it was the only game there. I think they did kind of go overboard a bit. I mean, you had all the old people there watching as if they really cared.
Right. Yeah, that seemed very fake.
But hey, it's cheesy good time. Can't fault them too much.
Yeah, I mean, like the closest you can get to that kind of experience today is you're about to beat Dragon Force on Expert on Guitar Hero. Yeah.
Right.
That's true, dude.
Yeah,
Any of those type of games on Expert, yeah, dude.
So anyways, he finally beats the game. He gets a new record. Everyone's happy.
Well, he's happy until his mom comes home and gives him that letter saying that he was denied the loan to go to school, to go to a good college, I guess you'd say, because he doesn't want to go to city college is what they were calling it, but I guess it's just the community college that all his friends are going to, because he's more ambitious. He's trying to get out of there. He's trying to make something of himself and go out and see the world, I guess. And he wants to take his girlfriend with him, Maggie.
Yeah, he's always saying how they're always gonna stick together.
Yeah,
so
it's a bit cliched and all that, but it's typical of the '80s movies back then.
Yeah.
So he's pretty upset that he can't go to regular school. He has to go to city college. He's taking it pretty hard. So he leaves the trailer or whatever, and he goes just out for a kind of a midnight stroll. And he ends up at the sign where it says Starlight Hotel or trailer park. He's just kind of looking at the stars, and you kind of see in the background a shooting star come down. And a minute or two later, all of a sudden you see this. Yes, all of a sudden, you just see his car pull up, and it's
supposed to look futuristic, but it kind of just looks stupid.
Yeah, it looks really retarded.
But actually, it has some trivia, because this movie is done by Universal, and so is the Back to the Future series. They said that in Back to the Future 2, they actually used that car. It was parked somewhere on one of the streets during Back to the Future 2, because that one's set in the future. So that's kind of a little fun trivia there.
The more you know. Dun-dun. You see this dumb-looking car. I'll forgive some of the CG in this movie because it is some of the first CG you see in any movie.
Yeah, we'll get into that at the end.
The car looks pretty bad. And it opens up like a DeLorean where it kind of bat wings up. You meet our character Centauri, which is played by the Robert Preston, which is his last movie.
Everyone knows him as kind of the Music Man.
Yes, correct. Absolutely. He comes out there, he starts talking to Alex.
Centauri's the name. We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance.
You're talking in and out, and he's basically going, come in the car, got something to show you. And that way,
he says,
wow, he made it sound like he's a pedophile.
He says, step into my office.
Yeah, he does.
And of course,
first he asks him, he says, are you the young man who got the high score on that Starfighter arcade unit? And he goes, yes, I am. I'm Alex Rogan. So then he's like, well, step into my office, young man. And then he, gets in the car and and he says, oh, this is my associate over here. And he shakes the hand of this guy who's in the shadows in the car. And then there's this big spark, big static, almost electricity. And then the guy gets out of the car. Alex doesn't see him again.
Yeah, you never see his face.
So then they start driving in the car, and it's going pretty fast, 300. And then you see the cops just have the speed gun, whoa, 300, just to as they wake up as the car drives by, and they start to run out of road. Alex is kind of freaking out, dude, you gotta slow down, we're gonna die. And then all of a sudden, voila, the car flies. Who knew? And you see it fly into the atmosphere.
Yeah, who knew CG could look so bad? Who knew? That scene is the first time we actually get a big taste of the CG. If you don't count the stuff in the arcade game, come on, you guys were all had your jaws on the ground when you saw that. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, wow.
Not in a good way.
You get used to it after
all the
a while.
reasons. Yeah, we got used to it.
Yeah. It was fine. And actually, some of the scenes later on were actually not bad.
So now he's in the car with Centauri, played by Robert Preston. He's just talking a mile a minute about this and that, but mostly he's saying it's a surprise.